Some extra special content today. Tesla have released a new truck and a new Roadster. The truck's amazing. It's a badass mother trucker, or Tesla have called it the BASF, badass mother. Yeah, do the math. And it's a big truck. It looks like a bullet, and the reason it looks like a bullet is it's supposed to. It's the aerodynamic range of the shape of the truck. It's better wind resistance than a Bugatti Veyron, which just makes it unreal. And that's why the fuel economy and the battery savings are so good, because the truck is so aerodynamic, which is a very clever idea of Tesla. They've given it this bullet look to sort of smooth things out. It's a bit different from Tesla's normal stuff. Obviously, they're trying to help renewals all everywhere, and obviously there's a big gap in the market for trucks. Trucks are big high ticket items, so when people are renewing fleets, they do look at sort of new trucks. Most big commercial fleet companies don't buy second-hand trucks, they buy new trucks. Obviously there's still a second-hand truck market, but new trucks is a big market, lots of big money. And as Tesla have explained, a lot of truckers have third-party apps that are added onto the truck. So they buy a truck and then they buy a reverse camera system, they buy sort of depot information, they buy all sorts of extra computers added on. The Tesla truck comes with all that in. Now, Tesla have said that their truck will be cheaper than a normal diesel per mile. Now, I'm presuming they're adding into that cost equation, adding all these third-party software applications, but we'll find out more when they release more price information close to the time. There's a 2-year waiting list if you want to order one, and they do look quite amazing, to be honest. The 0 to 60 unladen, obviously no weight on it, just the truck itself, is 5 seconds, which is quicker than most people's cars. And carrying its weight, it is, with a weight, it can do 0 to 60 in about 9 seconds, which is, it's amazing. That's still quicker than most people's cars. However, the most important issue, which will affect all car drivers, is if every single truck goes to these trucks, even on a 5% incline, the semi-truck will still do 65 miles an hour. Now, most diesel trucks will struggle to go 55 miles an hour, etc. And they do struggle. If you've ever been behind a truck when it starts to get a little bit of an incline on a motorway, you'll notice that they really slow down, and if you're stuck down, that can cause massive congestion on the road. So they'll sort that out. They're also including, with all their trucks, self-driving stuff, and it's also got a convoy system on it, so it's a lot more safer, a lot more practical. When more costs, I'm not a trucker, I don't know much about trucks, but I just thought it was a really interesting thing for Tesla to go into this. And obviously they've seen a price point. They've tried to sort of get rid of a lot of truck problems, so it's got special things to stop jackknifing, because it independently controls the 4 wheels at the back to stop a jackknife, which is extremely dangerous. They've also implemented other little bits like the windscreen. They say it's indestructible to a nuclear blast. Obviously, I'm sure when they get released, someone will try and smash one and find out that Tesla are wrong. But yes, they've tried to make the whole cost aspect of the truck more economical. They're even guaranteeing a electricity price in the United States, because they're going to solar charge all their super packs for their mega truck supercharging system in America. So they can guarantee the electricity rate. I think they call it, in America, it's 7 cents per kilowatt hour, which is, I believe, is quite cheap for American electricity. So they're able to guarantee certain price points. Now, obviously, petrol and diesel are fluctuating price points. You can't guarantee those kind of price points. So Tesla have guaranteed that. So they're giving the people who buy these big trucks a guarantee of how much they'll cost over the whole lifetime of the truck. Where if you buy a normal diesel truck, you have a rough idea of cost per mile, but you don't have any guarantees. Tesla can give 100% guarantees on what their truck will cost per mile. They're even giving a 1 million mile guarantee that the truck will not break down. However, he added a little bit of a caveat to that. When he says break down, he means it will, you can still use it. So it's got a couple of motors. So if 2 of the motors break, it can still run on the remaining 2. So it's still broken down. You still have to go and get it fixed. But what he's trying to say is, rather than break down sort of mid-drive, so a trucker goes to drop some cargo off, and the truck broke down, he'd normally be screwed and wouldn't be able to get anywhere. This will allow him to finish his journey and then go and get the truck repaired. So what they're saying is, they're not saying it's going to never break down, they're saying that it will still run even when half the motors are broke. The range seems to me okay. I'm not a big trucker, so like I said, I don't know anything about truck mileage. For you truckers, it is, I think from the top of my head, it's about 500 miles. I'll try and put it in the description at the bottom when I find the exact details. Now moving on, obviously, to the Roadster. The Roadster, just they brought it out, lovely red, massive, beautiful colour, and they've changed quite a lot on the Roadster. First of all, now it's a 4-seater, it's not a 2-seater, so technically it's not a Roadster, because Roadsters are 2-seaters, but it's a 4-seater. I think the 2 seats at the back, from obviously the pictures I've seen, will fit a small infant child, and you'll never get an adult in there unless you want to cut off his legs, staple him behind his head, and turn him into a... yeah, you won't fit anyone in the back who's an adult. But if you've got some kids, sort of 2, 3-year-old kids, even I think a 6-year-old would start whinging in the back of there, you can fit 4 people in. So it's not practical, really, 4 seats. They've just kind of done it. It's a gimmick. It's a way of them calling it a 4-seater. The most impressive thing about it is, yep, everyone's probably seen the 0-60, but I don't think that's the most impressive thing. I think the most impressive thing they've done is they've given it a battery range that is just not practical. They've given it, I think, hold on, 600 miles, was it? Oh, 620 miles. They've given it a 620 mile range. 620 miles. Who has a bladder that can last 620 miles? Nobody. Nobody has a range of 620 mile hour bladder. It's not possible. So they've done it purely to say to any sort of doubters, petrol head doubters, that electric's possible, is to sort of say, well, there you go, there's a 620 mile range. You go and do 620 miles without stopping. And that's the point. No one's going to do 620 miles in a day. Tesla trying to put the point in, it's possible. You wouldn't do it, but it's possible. Now, more than likely, that'll be an extra. They'll have production models with a standard 200 miles that most people would want to do, but they'll give people the option of a 620 mile range, and it's to sort of say, look, if we wanted to do an electric car with 600 mile range, we can. We choose not to, because no one needs that range. No one does that kind of mileage in a day. So it's more of a sort of a slap down to petrol cars to say, look, we can do it. No need to doubt us anymore. We could put it there if we wanted to. Now, the 0-60 time is 1.9, and that is in their test model. That is their prototype model. They reckon their real car will do more. Now, 1.9 0-60 makes it one of the quickest production cars going by far. It's quick. It's a proper 10-second quarter-mile car. It does it in under 9 seconds, 8.9 seconds for a quarter mile, and it's a 0 to 100 quicker than most cars can do. I mean, it does it a 0 to 100 in 4.2 seconds. That is fast. That's quicker than most Ferraris, Porsches to 100. Never mind to 60. This car will beat them. Absolutely trash them. It's not got an order list till 2020, so it's a big wait if you want to order one, and that's probably because Tesla have only got this as a prototype model. I don't think they've worked out most of the kinks. I think it was more of a to get more interest on the semi-truck. They did the semi-truck launch, and they knew it wouldn't get too many people excited, so they've tried to sort of throw the Roadster in there to sort of hype people up to talk about both the event and the semi-truck. So we'll see a bit more of that. My normal video will be released tomorrow. This is just a bonus video, just to cover obviously the Tesla launch yesterday, because it was a very big thing in the EV world. So my normal video will be tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks very much. Bye.